Hey people, thank you for tuning in. This is Ian here coming at you for a short range review for Battle Angel Alita, hitting theaters this weekend. Just to preface up front, this is not going to include spoilers. If you want to hear our extended thoughts for our full review, you're going to be able to do that following this video, or you can just hop on over right now if you just want the whole bag spoiled. But for now, just let me give you a rundown of what this Alita business is all about. This film is set up about 300 years following a catastrophic event called the Fall. This is a 26th century hyper-futuristic dystopia where you couldn't make class illustrations any clearer than what you have here. The massive floating city called Salem pretty much stands as a beacon for at least what everyone thinks is a utopia high above. The rest of civilization we see, not fortunate enough to be born high above in the clouds, exists in a place called the scrapyard that really exists to fuel the city above. So it's kind of a parasitic relationship. One can't really live without the other, but it's terrible either way. Our focus quickly gets put on Dr. Ito, who is an expert cyborg clinician who pretty much dedicates his life to try to help out those who just need repairs or who have life-threatening damage, or just restoring really cool technology. He immediately comes across Alita and is fascinated, not having seen anything quite like her before. He goes about restoring her body and trying to fill her in a little bit on what this world is. Unfortunately, Alita has no memory of who she is, what she did before, or how she even got to where she is, down to the point where she can't even remember her own name. So the very name Alita is given to her by the doc himself. Quickly learning about and adapting to the super harsh environment she's thrown into, Alita starts to discover that there's actually more to her than just being a normal girl or just going about normal teenage things. In fact, she could be a lot older than what she thinks as well. There's something innately in her that calls her to conflict, and she finds herself, when she's in these situations, her body seems to react before she can even think about it. After a few super close shaves with the underground world of the scrapyard, as well as a really scary, influential, powerful foe from the city above, Alita gets caught up in a breakneck pace battle for survival, not just for herself, but for everybody she's come to know and love. I was really skeptical coming into this movie, looking at screenplay elements, how everything was going to pan out, especially historically, the perception, just the execution of adaptations. When you're talking pulling an anime to the big screen or pulling manga into a live action, it's not the easiest thing to pull off. But I can say my impressions, though, in general, are, I'm so happy to say this, definitely positive. In fact, the most fun I've had since my days in the 90s of watching the live action adaptation of Iria, Serum the Animation, and also Guyver. Unforgettable stuff, but this is definitely something casted in the right direction. You've got a solid screenplay, solid action throughout, especially scenes that were meant to convey at supersonic speed back in the original manga source material. Miss Rosa Salazar kills it as Alita. Was very pleased with the way that she portrayed the leading character here. Really pushes the narrative, not just for this adaptation, but also push it in the manga and everywhere else. This is a story that we see through Alita, and it was rightly done here. The rest of the supporting cast, including Jennifer Connelly as Shiren, really felt everybody just came together to help give this an awesome shine. Nothing too remarkable to comment on regarding soundtrack, about what I'd come to expect from movies like this. I gotta say though, the ending itself can be a little questionable whether or not you're a fan of the original series or if you're just coming into this blind. So the good news is, even if you don't know a whole lot about the background of Alita, this is still very watchable. It does a good job of pulling you into this world. For those of you familiar with everything, this covers roughly about the first 2 volumes of the original manga. But other than that, hey, if you're considering going to see this, or maybe heck, you've already seen it and you got some things you want to say, post down in the comment section. Of course, if you like what you're hearing, the likes and subs really help us. Or hey, cool, you just want to argue, go for it. I'd say this is definitely a film worth seeing with some gorgeous CG for the $170 million budget that it worked with. I gave this one a 9 out of 10, Chris gave this one an 8 out of 10, and would love to hear what you guys think. Until next time, everybody, you take it easy. Have a good one. Thank you for listening. Hey people, thank you for tuning into this episode and taking a listen. If you like our content, if you like what you're listening to, is there anything to go over, hey, please, we would not only love to hear more from you, but if great, you could throw some support. You can subscribe right below. Also, you can toss us a line anytime. That's ksawmedia@gmail.com. Of course, you can tune in for our channel anytime for movie reviews, game reviews, a lot of random wacky stuff. Yeah, who knows what you'll hear. And of course, our episode each week where we're bringing the nerdiest things we can find, pick up, and maybe not find. Maybe the stuff that just drops in our laps. But anyway, hey, thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you for listening. We hope to hear from you again later. Take care.